Chopsticks, chopsticks, chopsticks. How often do you think of them? If you live in North America or Europe, you might think about chopsticks once or twice a month when you order Chinese food, sushi, or another Asian cuisine. You probably struggle to use them, and if you are at home and not trying to impress your date, you might give up and use a fork. But if you live in China, you probably think about chopsticks 3 to 4 times a day, and this shows in the numbers. According to China Daily, China produces 80 billion pairs of disposable chopsticks per year. Bai Guanxin, chairman of Jilin Forestry Industry Group, estimates that amounts to around 20 million trees per year. That is a lot of trees and completely defeats what Mr. Beast and Team Trees accomplished in 2020. I will be the first to admit that this topic of deforestation and chopsticks isn't new, but I recently came across a company that could change the way we think about disposable chopsticks.
Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Yvonne and I am on a journey towards sustainability and conscious living. In this video, I want to talk about the continuing problem of deforestation here in China for the production of chopsticks. I will also look at a company in Vancouver who is trying to create something useful out of trash.
In 2003, almost 20 years ago, Dr. Elizabeth Economy said, China's forest resources rank among the lowest in the world. Demand for furniture, chopsticks, and paper has driven an increasingly profitable but environmentally devastating illegal logging trade. By the mid-1990s, half of China's forest bureaus reported that trees were being felled at an unsustainable rate, and 20% had already exhausted their reserves. She was giving a testimony before the Congressional Executive Commission on China when she made these comments.
Back then, I would have been, well, let's say I was a lot younger when that testimony was given. But the question remains, has anything really changed here in China?
China has 5 main regions for deforestation, which include Guangxi, Guangdong, Fujian, Jiangxi, and Yunnan. According to Global Forest Watch, these top 5 regions were responsible for 58% of all tree cover loss between 2001 and 2020. Guangxi had the most tree cover loss at 2.32 million hectares compared to an average of 334,000 hectares. The research also shows that from 2001 to 2020, China lost 10.3 million hectares of tree cover, or a little over 1 million hectares per year. And at the same time, from 2001 to 2012, China gained 2.2 million hectares of tree cover, or about 200,000 hectares per year.
This shows the difference between how many trees China was cutting down each year and how little they were doing to reforest those areas in that time period. As we can see, most of those areas are in the southern regions. But what is really being done to restore those areas and to recycle chopsticks?
After researching for hours, I couldn't find any companies in China that recycle chopsticks. Most of the sites gave reasons for why it is too difficult and expensive to recycle this wood product. The biggest issue is cleaning costs. It is too expensive to properly wash chopsticks at a large scale. But I did come across a company in Vancouver that is upcycling millions of chopsticks.
What's going on here? I'm Felix, and I'm just a garbage man with a PhD. At least that's what my mom thinks. What we do, we create beautiful products, not only for your home, but also for commercial spaces. What I think Chop Value does so well, besides creating beautiful, sustainable products, is tell a story and create an example of how easy circular economy should be like. The material we engineer, it's performing to last. Stronger than oak, harder than maple, made from urban harvested materials. I think the most impactful part of our story is that it's so tangible, it's practical, and you have to imagine that millions of chopsticks were used to bring that story to you.
According to Colossal, since its inception, Chop Value has saved nearly 33 million pairs of chopsticks from entering landfills. What are they doing that can't be done in Beijing or Shanghai? From the looks of it, nothing special. Their techniques could be replicated in any major city that uses chopsticks. Based on Job Value's Upcycling, there does seem to be some hope for keeping chopsticks out of landfills. But it would require companies in China and other major Asian countries to come up with their own upcycling process. One industry that has been trying to change is the delivery industry in China. According to The Diplomat, in 2017, Meituan My orders nationwide used approximately 20 million pairs of disposable chopsticks, or 350 metric tons of waste per day. In recent years, many delivery apps require users to select if they want cutlery. This helps reduce the amount of disposable and oftentimes unused chopsticks from being sent to users. But more could be done, and restaurants need to increase their efforts to reduce disposable chopstick consumption.
But because consumer behavior is slow to change and China's chopstick recycling programs are non-existent, what is being done to restore the forests? In the 1990s and early 2000s, China realized that it has a real problem with deforestation. So things needed to change. Luckily, things did change for the better.
According to Bloomberg Green, forest coverage has officially increased since 1978, from 12% to almost 22%. NASA satellite images confirm that China is a world leader for afforestation. The article went on to say China has had success with a plan to add trees and green spaces to its rapidly constructed cities. Since 2004, about 170 cities have launched Forest City campaigns designed to green urban areas and curb pollution. Each city has added an average of 13,000 hectares of parks or woods per year.
Although there have been setbacks in the afforestation projects here in China, overall they have been able to improve their forest coverage. This is great news, and it can help restore some of the forests lost to chopsticks. If the government continues to plant trees and increase its forest coverage, then we can see some real improvement in China's environment in the future.
The next step really comes down to restaurants and consumers. One way you can make a difference is by refusing disposable cutlery and buying a pair of reusable chopsticks. Every pair we save from ending up in a landfill is a chance for a tree to live a little longer.
What do you think of the chopstick problem? And who do you think should be doing more to save the trees? Consumers, restaurants, or the government? Let me know in the comment below. And if you are looking for a new pair of chopsticks, I have put a link to a set in the description box below. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content around sustainability.